Here are the warm-up answers, and you have to remember that these are worth 5 points each, and you must have the plus or minus sign on them to get credit. You cannot add it after it's been photographed. Everything over here is 1 point each in the short boxes, and your lottery numbers are 4, 6, 5, 9, and 2. Homework answers from last. Number 1 is plus or minus 11. Number 2 is no real solution. 3 is plus or minus 9. 4 is plus or minus 8. 5 is plus or minus 5. And 6 is no real solution. You must have the plus or minus sign where necessary. Anybody still need to see these on the screen? 7 is no real solution. 8 is plus or minus 14. 9 is plus or minus 5, and 10 is no real solution. Does anybody still need to see these on the screen? Alright. Stickler, you can go get the pencil. There you go. Alright. 11 is plus or minus 6. 12 is plus or minus 5. 13 is no real solution, and 14 is no real solution. Anybody still need these on the screen? 13, no real solution. 14, no real solution. 15 plus or minus 10, and 16 is plus or minus 5. Anybody still need these on the screen? And 17 is plus or minus 5. 18 is plus or minus 2. 19 is no real solution, and 20 is plus or minus 1. Extra credit from last night. You must have the plus or minus sign with the answer. These are 3 points each. Today's objective is to solve equations by using square roots. To solve equations by using square roots. Here is the first example. Don't forget, when I read a question, you can't answer out loud unless it's your name that's drawn out of the cup. 2x squared minus 6 equals x squared plus 19. To solve this equation, can somebody tell me what I would do first? And that goes to Carver. That's right. Put the x's on the left and the integers on the right. So when I do that, I already have a 2x squared here. What would go beside that 2x squared there on the right, Johnson? It would be the x squared, but what would I write? Subtract? Yes, subtract x squared. That's right. He got it. So next up, on the right-hand side, I already have a 19. What am I going to put beside it, Kleiber? Plus 6 is right. On the left-hand side, I have 2x squared minus 1x squared. When I simplify that, what do I get, Gleam? All right, what do I get, Imes? Close. What do I get, Clark? X squared is right. 2x squared minus x squared is 1x squared. On the right-hand side, 19 plus 6. What is that, Hellier? 25 is right. Now, there's something I have to do to both sides. What do I do to both sides next, Webb? Find the square root of both sides. That is right. All right, so to find the square root of both sides, I'm going to start on the left. What is the square root of x squared? Yantis. X is right. So we'll put down an x. And what is the square root of 25? Stickler. Close. What? Oh, he got it just in time. All right, so we have Yantis and Stickler in there right now. So plus or minus 5 is the solution to this problem. What is the first thing that I need to do on this problem, Hamilton?
Take the negative 4x squared over to the 2x squared, make it positive, and take the 16 over the 216 and make it a negative.
Yeah, that's right. You would have negative 2x squared plus 4x squared, and then 216 minus 16. You don't have to solve the whole problem, just the one question, but he is right. So, once we do change that around and have our x's on this side and integers on that side, changing the sign where necessary, there and there, I now have this on the left. What is this left-hand side simplified? Riley. Huh? You gonna pass? All right. What? And Kegley's not here, so we'll leave her stick out. And Kaiser, what is negative 2x squared plus 4x squared? 2x squared is right. So we'll go 2x squared, give her the point for that. And on the right-hand side, what is 216 minus 16? Malone. 200 is right. Now, what must I do to both sides? Bruton.
Divide by 2.
Divide by 2 is right. So if I divide by 2 here and 2 there, what am I left with on the left-hand side, Owens? X squared is right, because these cancel out. So we'll give the points there and there. What am I left with on the right-hand side? Weeks. 200 divided by 2. 100 is right. All right, so what now should I do to both sides? And that goes to Anderson. Square root of both sides. So the square root of x squared and the square root of 100. All right, so we'll give the points there. And what is the square root of x squared? We got to start over again. Yantis, what is the square root of x squared? X is right. So we'll go x. And what is the square root of 100? That goes to Owens. Plus or minus 10 is right. So there is your solution. Any questions about that problem? He wants to see a problem that would end up with a negative x, and the problem is negative 2x squared minus 6 equals a negative x squared plus 30. Now, you have to move your x term to the left, change the sign to plus x squared, keep the 30 on the right, and move this to the right and make it plus 6. What is negative 2x squared plus x squared? Negative x squared, and 30 plus 6 is 36. What do I have to do to both sides? You can flip the signs by doing what?
Dividing by a negative 1.
That's right, divide both sides by a negative 1. So you're left with a positive x squared equals a negative 36. Then if I do the square root of both sides with a pen instead of the magnifying glass, there we go. The square root of x squared is x, but what's the square root of negative 36? No real solution, right. At least not yet, until Algebra 2. Four x squared minus 1 equals x squared plus 26. On this practice problem, what is the first thing I do? Bruton.
Switch the x and the 1 over the equal sign.
That's right, switch them over the equal sign. So I'm going to have this going this way and this going this way. So I would have 4x squared already on the left. What am I going to write right beside that? Imes.
47.
Not 27. What am I going to write in this area right here? Kaiser. It would be take away x squared. Yes, so it would be minus x squared. And on the right-hand side, I already have a 26, but this is going over with it. But what do I write beside the 26 Carver? Plus 1, yes. All right. On the left-hand side, I have 4x squared minus x squared. When I simplify that, what do I come up with? Webb. 3x squared is right. And on the right side, I have 26 plus 1, which turns out to be what? Anderson. 27. All right. So now, what do I do to both sides at this point, Johnson?
Both sides, you have to,
All right. What do I do to both sides, Kleiber?
Divide by 3.
Yeah, divide by 3. When I divide by 3, what am I left with on the left-hand side? Hellier. X squared is right. And what am I left with on the right-hand side? Stickler.
You were left with 9.
You were left with 9 is right. All right, so what do I do to both sides at this point? Gleam. Square root. So I need the square root of x squared, the square root of 9. And what is the square root of x squared? Hamilton. X is right. And what's the square root of 9? Riley. Close. Plus or minus 3, yes. If you have this, come on up.
pretty sure that's pretty sure.
Oh, am I still recording? X squared minus 2 equals 47. The answer to the bonus problem is plus or minus 7. If you have that, come on up. X squared plus 12 equals 112. Answer to the bonus problem should be plus or minus 10. 5x squared plus 10 equals 3x squared plus 82. For this problem, you must have 5x squared minus 3x squared equals 82 minus 10. That would be 2x squared equals 72. X squared equals 72 divided by 2, which means x squared is 36. If you take the square root of both sides, you end up with x equals plus or minus 6. X squared plus 12 equals 48. The answer to the bonus should be plus or minus 6. X squared minus 1 equals 3. Answer to the bonus is plus or minus 2. Remember that you have to have plus or minus on your answers. It's already been photographed. These are 5 points each, and everything over here is 1 point each. Your lottery numbers are 2, 8, 6, 8, 5. Photograph this quickly, and I'll put up extra credit.